track folks. That was all we get.
Airtime you get.
Gaius Julius Caesar is known as one of the greatest rulers to have ever lived. Most people know of him because of his horrible death of 23 stabs led by Marcus Brutus, but there is so much more to know about him. He succeeded in conquering many lands for Rome's gain and making better Roman way of life. He was seen as an unruly tyrant by the Senate and others, but is also seen as a person of ambition and character. We will discuss Caesar's early years and his rise to power, his contributions to Roman history, and some fun, interesting facts you might not know about Caesar. Caesar was born around 100 BC to parents Aurelia and Gaius Julius Caesar I. Little is known about his childhood, so we'll skip to what we know. At age 18, he married Cornelia and had a child, Julia. The dictator at that time, named Sulla, ordered Caesar to divorce Cornelia, but Caesar refused, being very much in love with his wife and staying true to his honor. He was forced into hiding until Sulla's death in the year 1878 BC. Later, Caesar was held hostage by pirates overseas. Caesar showed the beginnings of his great ability to convince and persuade when he pretended to befriend the pirates. When his rescue finally came, he crucified the pirates. This act brought attention to Caesar. People began to think he was worthy to be a political man. Caesar continued to give speeches at funerals for his family members, always hinting he had something special to give to Rome. In 72 BC, he was elected military tribune, and by 60 BC, he had formed an alliance with Pompey and Crassus called the First Triumvirate. From Caesar's background story, we can see he was going to be a major impact on Rome. In 58 BC, Caesar left for Gaul. During the course of 9 years, Caesar conquered a huge part of Europe. While he and his army was away, the government of Rome began to question and plot against his authority. Pompey was one of these people. He began to believe that Caesar was just about taking Pompey's power from him. In reality, that was somewhat true, but not to a huge degree. Caesar still thought well of Pompey and their alliance. After Caesar's daughter, now Pompey's wife, Julia, died in childbirth, things just got worse. Around 49 BC, when Caesar returned, he was stripped of his position. As a result, he entered a civil war against Pompey and crossed the Rubicon River. This is a notable achievement of Caesar's. In 48 BC, Caesar went to Egypt during war and learned that the Egyptians had killed Pompey. Though he was horrified, Caesar saw the Egyptians' loyalty to him as something useful. He entered an alliance with Cleopatra, physically, emotionally, and politically, and this increased Caesar's influence and power. When he finally returned to Rome in 47 BC, he won the people over by his great accomplishments and became dictator for life. What is interesting about this, however, is that he never sought special treatment. He refused a king's crown and told Romans he was just like them. Unfortunately, his Senate was plotting against him and arranging his murder. Even his ally with Mark Antony and the citizens was no match for his elected representatives. And on the Ides of March, as William Shakespeare puts it, he was stabbed to death by his own Senate. Some interesting facts about Caesar are as follows. It was believed he wore a crown-like object on his head during the later part of his career because he was self-conscious about his receding hairline. He never married Cleopatra because under Roman law, Romans could only marry each other. He is the king of diamonds in a deck of cards. And he was born by cesarean section, but ironically and contrary to public belief, the operation was not named after him. Though Julius Caesar's early life accomplishments and fun facts, we can see a great orator, a power-hungry warrior, and a dedicated ruler in history.
Very good. I learned something too.
I'm gonna start recording.
Show.